Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Thank you for comfortably sitting down, Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. I want to remind you that you are still under oath. Before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Camara.
Good afternoon, Ma.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, we may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Yes, do you have the memo you were referring to in relation to the rotation?
Yes, I know I have it in my archives. So I have been searching with the packages I brought, but
okay.
I think that will be later. But in the same, to substitute it, I have documentations here that I wanna present to you to buttress an earlier element that emerged during my testimony about the lack of an administrative director by virtue of the CEO not doing the needful, because I tasked 2 revenue collectors,
yes,
and they are in the core revenue, which is trade license, they asked me, they wanted to proceed on leave. I said, this year, prior to going on your annual leave, you have to present a report documenting and outlining everything that we've collected over the period under consideration. So that didn't go down with the 2 collectors. They went to the office of the mayor, and then a day later, they were giving their leave letters to proceed, defying my orders. And then again, I wrote to the Director of Administration, acting Director of Administration at the time, that
yes,
I think if we want to reform B.C.C,
yes,
we cannot be singing 2 songs. These are my staff, and I need to okay them to proceed on leave. And I asked them, give me a report of what you've done over the year, because that report will do 2 things. One, will help me to know how to rank them and rotate them. 2, that report will also help us, yes, update our trade license register. So I would want to tender it for the commission. I would also want to tender the dump site contractee details. The first contract that was given to him, Bakausu Kanyi.
That is the person you were saying is related to the mayors?
Yes. And again, I also want to tender, when I was arrested in my office by 11 police officers, the memo and then the extract, the newspaper cuttings.
Yes.
For and I would also like to tender one legal judgment.
Legal?
One legal judgment against Banjul City Council, okay, of 28 staff that were wrongly terminated on the orders of the mayor with Bachili. They sued the institution, and we are still struggling to this day to pay that multi-million. One of them is here. We try to pay him when it reached my desk from Bachili to pay the judgment.
Yes.
I sent it to the finance manager at the time to pay 50% of the legal fees. But
let me have it. I will seek to admit it separately from this. We apply to tender the following documents. First is a contract agreement between Banjul City Council and Bakausu Kanyi for 3 months contract given to Bakausu Kanyi. A memo addressed to the Director of Administration from the Director of Finance with the subject staff proceeding to leave without approval. The application for annual leave, 2 documents. A memo addressed to the CEO from the Director of Finance, the topic under police arrest, resisting CEO's directives to hand over revenue earning books of council to him. and a document with the hearing police intervened in BCC's CEO and Finance Director, Tossel, January 12, 2024. Admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
A memo dated the 10th of January 2024, it is addressed to the CEO from the Director of Finance and the PS Ministry of Lands is copied, the Chairman, Local Government Service Commission, Lord Mayor, Chairman, Finance Committee, Chairman, Establishment Committee, all councillors, Director of Internal Audit, Acting Director of Administration, Trade Licenses Manager, Advisor to Council, and a file copy is maintained. A front page copy of the Fourier newspaper dated the 17th of January 2024. Police intervened in B.C.C. CEO and Finance Director Tosul, January 12, 2024. A memo dated the 22nd of December 2023. It is from the Acting Director of Administration, from the Director of Finance, and it has the caption, staff proceeding to leave without approval. A letter dated the 12th of December 2023, addressed to the CEO through the Director of Finance, and it has the subject application for annual leave. It is signed by Safi John, Revenue Collector, License Unit. A letter dated the 12th of December 2023, it is addressed to the CEO through the Director of Finance, and the subject is application for annual leave. It is signed by Jali Katu Jalo, Revenue Collector License Unit. And the final document is dated the 6th of... Can you give this to the witness to confirm whether this is the 6th of November 2023 or 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the date?
Is the 6th of November, 2023. 2020. 2020. It should be 2024.
Sorry,
No,
I didn't get that.
no.
Can you repeat it?
It's 6th of November, 2023.
This
Director of Administration of deploying university interns to my unit. And when I received the intern, I posted her to the market because she majored in economics. And we had some mapping that we were doing in the market, and I thought best that she will best fit to go and help us at the market. Because I needed in core finance the number crunching graduates. And then that was not done. When she came, I posted her to the market. 2 days later, I found her at the internal audit department. And then I confronted the director. I said, this staff was given to me, and I arranged for her to be taken to the market to work with Mustafa John. I found her here, and then the director told me, no, I think I can work with her. I said, fair enough. So, but what it does is, a stranger is coming. We looked at her credentials. We needed staff in our capacity ranks. But what she studied is best fitted at the market. The next minute, another unit, she has to rebel, and she'll be brought, a new person, she'll be brought to another directorate next door to my office. And throughout the tenure that the lady has been in B.C.C, she doesn't call my name. I did my investigation. I found out that she is a neighbor to the mayor in Kotu, and her name is Miss Fatma Njai.
Ms. Fatima Njai.
Yes. I would also like to make a submission. This was 29th September 2023. I wrote back to the CEO. The caption was revival of collection of rental operational license.
Revival of
Rental operation, yes. So I knew it's going to fall on deaf ears, but I needed to remind him that this is office work and not politics. And I also have a letter of the general transfers after the police arrest and ensuing communication. There was general transfer that affected 3 CEOs and 3 directors of finances. So I would also like to tell that. And a fourth one, I don't know whether it's being covered by.
What is that about?
This is about a contract that was awarded by B.C.C, the Austin project, and then the mayoress with Bachili did everything tooth and nail to break this contract and award it to Keba and Sons. We stood tall that this is late in the day, this contract is signed, and the lady also get good lawyers, and they were able to write to Banjul City Council, telling them the penalties that awaits the institution if they work back on this $11 million contract that it was won by Fatima Sabali Trading.
Yes.
Everything was done to put soil on this. And for some of us, we are blamed that we are double sword and all that, but we thought it was not right. The contract was awarded to the best ranked.
Best bidder.
Yes, best bidder.
Okay.
So for the record.
We will hold on to, yes, just bring it. We will have this admitted first. We apply to tender a memo addressed to the Director of Finance from the Director of Admin regarding deployment of UTG student as intern. The second is a revival of the collection of rental or a operational license. And the third is general transfers.
A memo dated the 1st of November 2023. It is from the Acting Director of Admin to the Director of Finance, and the subject is deployment of UTG student as intern. And it is copied to the Lord Mayor, Chief Executive Officer, Director of Internal Audit, Chairman Establishment Committee. A memo dated the 29th of September 2023. It is addressed to the CEO from the Director of Finance. It has the subject revival of the collection of rental operational licenses. It is copied to the Mayor, Chairman Finance Committee, Director of Audit, Acting Trade License Manager, and a file copy is maintained. And the final document is a letter dated the 31st of January 2024. It has reference LM35/131/01, TEMP in brackets 45, and it has the subject general transfer. It is signed by Government's D for Chairman Local Government Service Commission. And the addresses are Momodou Jonga, CDK, Ture, Mustafa Bacheli, Alaji Jeng, Momodou Camara, and Sirif Njai. And these are copied to all the CEOs and the PS, Ministry of Lands, and the chairman of the councils. These three documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/011.
As the Commission places. So this is in relation to the procurement of dustbins,
Yes.
5,700 dustbins.
Yes.
Was this before Camara and Sons was given the contract for the 3,000 dustbins or after?
After.
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 So there was a first contract given to Camara and Sons?
Yes.
For 3,000 dustbins?
Yes.
You were there?
No, I wasn't there.
You were not there?
No.
But you've learned of that one?
Yes, I did.
And the amount is about $13,800,000.
Yes.
And so this is for 5,700 dustbins?
Yes.
For $11 million?
Yes.
So what is the issue with that? The bidding was done?
Yeah, the contract was awarded
To
to the winner, that Fatima Trading.
Fatima and Trading?
Yeah, Fatima and Trading.
So when it was awarded to Fatima Trading, then why did they want to change it and give it to Camara and Sons?
Because Fatima gave us a day, gave a date of delivery.
Yes.
And then when the date emerged, management confronted her, Bacheli, called her that the day is up, where are the bins? The lady said they are on the high seas of Dakar.
Yes.
Then she asked for an extension of a week, then later another week. So after those 2 extensions, they wanted to renege on the contract and then give it to Camara and Sons. But again, and the lady was written to that they're gonna walk away from the contract, and she also went round, get the lawyers, her lawyers, to write to B.C.C, telling them it's here, and they supply the bill of lading, supply the ship number, supply everything, the tracking and everything. I think when they found out that this was going to put us in a lot of trouble, they let go. But
why did they want to give it to Camara and Sons?
I don't know.
Now, of course you know. You are very much, it is into, you have notice of the relationship that the Camara has, the drama has with,
Yes.
with the mayors. He testified here.
Yes.
He said they used to live together for so many years. Did you know this before?
Yeah, for me, if they wanna give it to Camara and Sons, maybe that's the way they operate. Mayor Bacheli, if they are comfortable with you, they work with you.
But Camara and Sons have been given or awarded so many contracts.
Yes, maybe they are comfortable with Camara and Sons.
We have the letter from Banjul City Council addressed to the management Fatima Sabali Trading to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibit together with a solicitor's letter from either D. Drame and Associates Law Firm addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Banjul City Council, Independence Drive, Banjul, and it reads termination of contract agreement with Banjul City Council for the supply of 5,700 waste bins. To be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibit.
A letter dated the 22nd of March 2021, it is addressed to the management, Fatima Sabali Trading. It has the subject status on our contract to supply 5,700 bins to Banjul City Council. It is signed by Mustafa Bachili, CEO, Banjul City Council. It is copied to the Mayor, Director of Finance, Coordinator EU Banjul Project, Lawyer, B.C.C, Lawyer, Fatima Sabali Trading, and a file copy is maintained. A letter dated the 1st of December 2020, it emanated from either D. Drame and Associates. It has reference 10 in brackets C slash in brackets 49 slash FST slash 1 slash MN, and it is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Banjul City Council. It has the caption termination of contract agreement with Banjul City Council for the supply of 5,700 waste bins. The letter is copied to, the letter is signed by either D. Drame and Associates. It is copied to the client, Gambia Public Procurement Authority, the Mayoress Banjul City Council, the Chairperson, Complaints Review Board, Director of Finance Banjul City Council, Arab Gambia Islamic Bank, European Union Project Coordinator, National Assembly Select Committee of Local Government. These two documents are admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/012.
As the Commission places. Now, Mr. Camara.
Yes.
Regarding the issue of loans, was there a loan policy in Council?
No, there is no loan policy in Council.
Did you develop at any point a loan policy?
Yes, when I came, immediately, even before I think it was my first assignment, that I wrote to the CEO. This was 26th of October 2020, and the subject was loans committee, which I would like to tender.
Yes.
Tell me there was need for us to have a loans committee. What I also did was to perfect a template that was being used at the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation, tailor-made it to suit the realities of BCC. And then anybody who is applying for a loan, this is the form that is giving you to fill. And I've also done drafted a loan policy that the then chair of the finance committee okayed, that we needed to definitely sit on and validate it, and make it operational as the official loan policy of the Banjul City Council.
Do you have the draft?
Yes, I have. If you don't mind, can you just staple that for me? That's the draft.
There's another document you have placed
here
on the table.
This one. There you go. So those three documents are there. The memo suggesting for a loans committee, the template, the loans application template, and the draft loan policy.
So you addressed this to the CEO?
Yes, please.
So was there a response?
No.
So this was never looked into?
Yes.
I plan to tender the following documents, a memo from the Director of Finance, the Subject Loans Committee, another document with the heading Banjul City Council B.C.C Loan Policy, prepared by...
That was signed by
Basiru Ndao.
Basiru Ndao, yes, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
Chairman of Finance Committee. But who prepared this document?
I prepared it.
And a proposed staff loan application form.
Yes.
To be admitted and marked as an exhibit. So the CEO never got back to you on this?
No, she never got back. But again, moving forward, I made sure the template was rolled out.
Yes, the form was rolled out.
Rolled out, yes.
But the policy was never discussed?
No.
There was no committee?
But I've taken it to the level of the finance committee.
That's what I'm saying. But then there was no loans committee constituted at some point. There was no loans committee?
No.
So the CEO continued to have exclusive right or decision making regarding who is to be granted
Yes, sir.
a loan?
Yeah.
A memo dated the 26th of October 2020 addressed to the CEO from the Director of Finance, and it has subject loan committee. The Banjul City Council B.C.C loan policy. It is signed by the Chairman Finance Committee, Mr. Basiru Ndao. And the Banjul City Council BCC staff loan application form. These documents are admitted in evidence together as exhibit, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/013.
Ask the Commission, please. Now, you had no. Now, Yes, you had no committee as you've proposed. You had no committee as you have proposed regarding the loan scheme or policy that you were trying to implement.
Yes.
Now, what was the procedure in applying for and granting of loan applications?
Yes, what we did, and I am in the lead in this, because when I came, I had 3 maiden meetings with my staff, and I also sat with every unit and department in finance, and by extension, other staff. And the mantra I sold to them was, look, this revenue needed to come to council. If we all work hard, and we all work hand in gloves,
yes,
and make the money, we can all benefit from loans to buy plots, to buy cars, and pursue other dreams, like all respectable institutions in the Gambia does. But you look at the situation of B.C.C staff, and where I found them. Only few people, managers out, were accessible to loans. And again, looking at...
And what was the procedure?
There was no procedure.
Who is the application sent to?
I think they're right. I was not there. But what I did...
When you were finance director, was there any loan issued to any individual?
Yeah, we have almost all staff where
yeah, but who do they write to?
Yeah, everybody who has who needs a loan comes to me or goes to the CEO.
So if they come to you?
Yes, or go to the CEO.
So if they come to you, what do you do?
If they come to me, I looked at 2 things. Number 1, are you coming to work? Because we have so many people on our payroll.
Yes.
They don't come to work.
Okay.
And again, looking at also which unit or department that you are in, and the need that you've expressed, that's what you need for the loan.
Yes.
Because if somebody turns up and say, I need a medical loan,
yes,
and turn up with some medical papers,
yes,
you can only approve or help the individual to get the loan. If somebody also turns up and said that it's July, my mom's house is leaking, again, you also have to do something about it. So there is no hard and fast rule as to who gets it or who does not get it. But
so your letter reads in a dash to boost up our operational and financial instruments, I hereby suggest in my capacity the forming of a loans committee of a 4-member team maximum. Please find attached a loan form that I develop on consultancies for other organizations that I think fits B.C.C's needs. I seek your approval to proceed with your blessings. So your policy you have, you prepared and signed by the finance committee chairman, is suggesting there has to be an interest charges.
yes,
5% on standard terms, repayment period, repayment method, repayment due date, the guarantors,
yes,
limitation of borrowings, and eligibility, and the approval procedure.
yes,
In the approval, you said all loans must be subject to endorsement of the respective department and unit heads, and subject to the approval of the CEO and Director of Finance. And there is a limitation that the staff cannot borrow more than they can repay to the date of their retirement. The eligibility: in certain circumstances, the company provides financial loans to its employees. The amount and conditions under which loans are provided must be varied from time to time, added to, or even withdrawn. The policy applies to all staff, and staff denotes anyone who thinks this works for B.C.C and earns an income from the council. But again, it was never implemented.
Yes, but what we've done is, notwithstanding, when I didn't get the response, I took it upon myself to make it a general council presentation, because I found loans were given at nil value. I said, no, money, if you part with money, it needs to recoup something for the institution.
Yes.
So I recommended 5% interest on staff loans, and we got the approval of general council. If I cite the minutes, I will present it to you, the resolution slamming 5% interest on all loans.
All right.
Yes.
Now, do you have the list of the people that were issued with loan? Do you have a recording for this, and how do you record this?
Yes.
As that of finance?
Yeah, what happened is, I think 2021 and 2022
Yes.
must be with the investigators. I have here, I have 2019 and 2020. I've developed a booklet,
2019
2019 and 2020, yes. That is
for
with
the
me.
list of the individuals that were issued
But
with loan.
I remember when the commission called me that I did it year by year.
Yes.
So I think if I liaise with Noah, I should be able to lay hands on 2021 and 2020.
You can note that down. When you come back tomorrow, it appears you will be here tomorrow in the morning, so that you can just produce the list.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now, do they have guarantors, whether requirements for these applicants in relation to what they have to meet?
Yeah, the guarantors are fellow staff.
Fellow
Like,
staff.
yeah.
Is there any requirement as to who should be the staff, the level, or
No.
anyone can just sign for anyone?
No, yeah, we just need 2 staff to guarantee.
Even if their salary is way less than the applicant's salary?
Yeah, we
Or
do-
they have loans they have contracted with the area council, the city council?
Yeah, we didn't factor that. All the form factors is you have to get 2 guarantors.
Have they been paying?
Pardon?
Have they been,
Yes,
has
yes,
it
yes.
been deducted
Yeah, from source, yes.
effectively?
Yes.
Okay. We'll wait for that. So the transport allowance?
Yeah, with the transport allowance. It's
How
an-
much was the transport allowance for the mayors? Do you know?
I wouldn't know it offhand,
Yes.
but the payroll should,
We'll state that.
yes, state everything.
Was that strictly observed in relation to what was approved, or was the mayors given extra allocation for transport or fuel?
Yeah, when the mayor came to office, I was not there, and when I came in, I thought that everything is in order, because
Yes.
ideally we have an internal audit department in there, and they've been doing a very good job. The internal audit that I found there,
Yes.
of recent things have changed, but the internal auditor that I found there will
Yes.
will eat and drink with you. At the end of the day, will raise a memo against you. And then he had the internal memory that management was able to always fall back on. Like me, I've never worked in area councils. So the internal audit department and the internal auditor per se was my guiding star. Whatever I have on my table, I will consult them. And I told them, I will never okay a document here that have not been seen by the internal audit, because that's corporate governance. The internal audit are team players that will help us tidy our work before the external auditors.
Do you
come.
have fuel register in council?
Fuel register? No, but we have the request, weekly request that we raised to.
Raised to who? Who was in charge of fuel allocation?
Fuel virtually should be procurement.
Should be procurement.
Yes, should be procurement, and the experience is when our accounts are good,
Yes.
in credit, we get the coupons. But once the accounts go into negative and we are not able to afford the coupons, then we go pay as you go. Every Friday we do the request and get our fuel request paid in cash.
How much do you get?
3,000
Every
week,
every week.
and the mayor gets 15,000 every week.
We will get there.
Yes,
You get $300 every week as Director of Finance.
yes,
Until you left B.C.C.
yes, exactly.
The CEO,
CEO I think is on 4,000.
$4,000. That's 16 in the month.
Yes,
And you are 12.
yes,
And the mayoress,
15 per week.
15. That's $60,000 in the month.
Yes,
Who was this approved? Who approved this?
the CEO is the accounting officer. He should be able
No,
to.
but what process? Were you there in council when the allocations for the mayoress was 15,000?
No,
a week?
I inherited it.
But do you know the legality of this process?
It's food for thought. But the CEO, like if I were the CEO, I would have stood my ground and
No,
said,
but as finance director, you still have some powers.
no, I don't have powers.
You don't have powers.
I don't have powers working in B.C.C.
Going by the book, you have powers.
Yeah, but I was taken to police because I tried to defend what was right. And again, I defend what was right. I was expunged from projects. I defend what is right. My staff are laughing at me that your words will not hold.
Then continue doing that.
Yes.
Because one day you will not be there.
Yes.
And you will only live by your legacy.
Yeah, that's why I stand here and I'm able to give you documentations that as long as I prevail here, I'll do my job.
Absolutely, we commend you for that. Yes. But again, you continue to pay $15,000 as finance director.
Yes, I'm not the approving authority.
No, I know that. I know that. But you must have been making payments as per the budget.
Yes.
Was that budgeted for?
Yes, it was budgeted for, yes.
$15 a week?
Yeah.
Do you have that budget?
No, the budget does not come mere 15,000 a week. The budget will do fuel and lubricants, a lump sum. And out of that lump sum figure, then you will expense it.
No, but there should be official approval for, in whatever form, regarding who should have what. It's
budgeted for, and once it's budgeted for, the breakdown is budgeted for. And once the budget is done and dusted, it finds its way to General Council, gets its blessing.
So my point is that the mayors will earn $15,000 a week.
Yes.
Is that in the budget?
Yes, it's there. It's in the budget.
Specifically the amount?
Yes.
You have seen that?
Yeah,
because.
You
have a copy of the budget?
Yeah.
Can you please guide us?
I didn't bring 2020. I got the approved budget for 2021 and the approved budget for 2023.
Can we see that? 2021, 2022?
Yes, 2022. I should be able to maybe download it from my laptop, but I have those two there.
We apply to tender the approved budget estimate for 2021 and 2023 into evidence as an exhibit.
2020, 2022 pending.
Mr. Camara, I'm just
Yes.
asking because $60,000 is in a month for fuel for the mayor seems to be too much.
Yes, I concur.
Yeah, it seems to be really an exorbitant amount of money.
How much?
Please come again.
You said how much a month?
I said it seems to be exorbitant. It seems to be a lot.
How much is a lot?
$60,000. 60,000.
60, it's more than that.
Okay. You said 15 in a week.
Yes, it should be 65,000 a month.
How is it 65,000?
15 by 52 divided by 12.
Okay.
Because some months are 5 weeks, some months are 4 weeks.
Yes.
Yes.
The Banjul City Council budget estimates of recurrent revenue and expenditure for the year 2021 and the budget estimates for recurrent revenue and expenditure, development expenditure for 2023. These budgets are admitted together as exhibit in evidence and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/014.
As the Commission places, would you be able to guide us through the budget for 2021 regarding the allocation for?
I'll be happy to do that. Yes, this is the budget estimates for the Banjul City Council for the year 2021, January 1st to 31st December 2021. And our projected total revenue that we penciled to achieve was 107 million. And 40% will go to recurrent expenditure, which is 42 million. And for development, 64 million. Going to the expenditure. If you go to the subtotals of the total expenditure, we budget to spend 12 million. We budget to spend 12.5 million on administration, community expenses 1.3 million, maintenance and repairs 1.2 million. That gives us 15.1 million on admin expenses. And if you go and look at the breakdown of the admin expenses, you have insurance, 95,000, printing and stationaries, 400,000, telecommunication, 275,000, utilities for council's premises, 425,000, conferences, local and overseas travel, 600,000, entertainment and office provision, 270,000, subscription to international organizations like UCLG, 250,000, training staff capacity building, 500,000, legal cost, 300,000, publication and adverts, 300,000, consultancy fees, 500,000, audit fees, 300,000, uniform for staff, 100,000, commission on services, 300,000, stamp duty charges, 5,000, office cleaning materials, 90,000, subscriptions to Galga, 245,000, contingency for valuation studies, report and implementation, 500,000, risk allowance, medical insurance expenses for frontline workers, 250,000, lubricants, 300,000, staff incentive overtime pay, staff workshop, and track studies, 250,000, control account implementation and staff loan investment, 1.5 million, pensions and gratuities, 4 million, finance cost, 600,000, council's liabilities payable, nil, injury compensation fund, 100,000. It's not factored on the admin expenditure, so we're going to look at it at the development expenditure. Under the development expenditure, we have maintenance and extension of existing tables and structures for 500,000. Then 800,000 is rehabilitation of drainage system at Albert Market. Then 350,000 construction of Center for Excellence for the youth of Banjul, construction of stores and rehabilitation of toilet at Banjul Ice Plant, 1.5 million, procurement of utility vehicles, 12,400,000, electricity and water bills, 1 million, equipment, furniture and software, 6.5 million, perimeter fence rehabilitation of building including toilets, Lasawaf Market, 300,000, renovation of Gaba Jahumpa, 500,000, PSUP contribution, that's counterpart contributions, 2.5 million, Banjul Street Lighting Project, upgrade, 17 million, educational scholarship, 2 million, ward development building facility and extension, 4 million, rehabilitation of public toilets, 150,000, provision of ward centers and offices, 400,000, construction of kiosks and bakeries, 1 million, waste management and disposal, etc., 540,000, Banjul Youth Sports Development, 1 million, fuel, 6 million.
Well, 6 million.
Yes.
For 2022?
For 2021.
2022.
2021.
2021?
Yes, 2021, yes.
But that's all you have. It did not tell you which department should be given what?
Maybe those details will be found at the drawing board stage. But the lump sums is what fine itself.
At the preparatory stage?
Yes, at the preparatory stage.
So, but we don't have, so now if you are to pay 15,000 to every week to the mayors, what would be the backing to that? What would you rely on? Let's say as finance director and there's a request for fuel for $15,000. What would you look into to see whether the request is legitimate?
Yeah, once you've gotten budget approval, yes. Once you've gotten budget approval from the finance committee, general council, our line ministry, you start implementing the budget. So on a weekly basis, if the requests come from the procurement officer, list the names and put how much they are entitled to be paid.
$6 million, you have the exact figure of each department, because the budget probably would have departmental expenses, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, for instance, the finance director, would you have the figure, the amount that you would be spending on fuel in the previous year?
Yeah, as I said, you know, the budget takes a very long period and it engages a lot of stakeholders.
Right.
What I do when September dawns, on the 1st of September, I always do a memo, circulate it to all.
What I mean, do you have the expenses for 2021?
The expenses for 2021
in relation to fuel?
Yeah, should be in the financial statement.
Yes, in the financial statement.
Yes,
for 2021.
procurement of fuel for dump site management operations, that's 4,228,600.
Which year was this?
This was 2021.
Oh, good. So you spent 4 million?
4,228,600.
That's for the dump site alone.
Yes.
And go ahead, the other departments or units? Mayor's office?
Yeah, in the subheadings that I have,
Yes.
I have for the financial statement, I haven't seen fuel as standalone here.
Because if you have 4 million, that's only for the dump site.
Yes, that's the wording. Yes, that's the wording attached to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Only for the dump site. You will now have the expenses, fuel expenses for the finance department, for CEO's office, maybe administration, the various departments. Because there are so many vehicles. Is that not the case?
Yes. Yes, as per my records, that's the figure that
Do you
I,
have the financial statement for 2023?
no, I have financial statement while I was there for 2021 and 2022.
Will we have the financial statement for the budget estimate for 2023? For
Yes.
2020?
Yes, the budget estimate for 2023 is there.
So it should have the financial statement for 2022. Do you have the one for 2022?
Yes, I have the financial statement for 2021 and
But you
2022.
don't have the one for 2023?
No,
So now, if you have $6 million, so how much does the mayor consume alone in
the fuel.
1 year on fuel?
Yeah, it's 65,000. 60. Yes. This is 15,000 a week times 52. Yeah, 780,000.
Okay, 780 there, but between
Yes.
$720 to $780,000. To be fair, it should be between $720 to $780,000.
No, it wouldn't be 720.
Okay, it will be 780.
780 and above, maybe between 780 and 850,000.
Okay,
Because sometimes she will embark on treks.
if you subtract that from $4,228,600.
Yes? You are,
Sorry, if you subtract that from $6 million,
yes.
from 6 million.
$5.2 million.
So 5.2 million, we already know the dump site would consume between $4 to $5 million
That's true.
already.
Yes.
So you have 2 units
Yes.
that has already exhausted the budget allocation for fuel.
For the fuel, yeah.
How about the other departments, the finance department and the other departments?
Yeah, the finance department, we don't use fuel. All who uses the fuel is the director. The allocation for the director.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
My point is, if you have that amount for one individual,
Yes.
the CEO has to benefit from the fuel.
Yes,
The finance director will have to.
That's
The
true.
of administration
that's true.
will have to. All the senior heads as well, and that's different from you trying to fill your the other. How do I call it? The non-council staffs. Sorry, vehicles that you have these records.
Yes.
That have been benefiting from this fuel allocation.
Yes.
So it means you are spending far more than what you have budgeted for when it comes to fuel.
Yes, but again, every year when you are budgeting, you always look at the realities of the yesteryear
Yes.
and then adjust accordingly. Because
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying even with the adjustment, I'm
Yes.
just saying that going by your evidence and what we are seeing on the
Yes.
record
Yes.
that council would always pay more than what is budgeted for
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes to
yeah,
fuel.
yeah, yeah. I'll stand by that.
Yeah, that's that.
I'll stand by
The
that.
facts are very clear.
Yes, I'll stand by that.
So
Can I
maybe
tender?
when
I tender this statement?
Maybe when you come back, you will help us with respect to the legality of the fuel allocations in relation to the amount that is given every week to the individuals.
Okay.
Mr. Camara,
Yes, ma.
can you highlight for me from the 2021 budget, what was the estimated revenue and the estimated expenditure?
For 2021.
Yes, for 2021.
2021, we made a revenue of we made a revenue of 89 million and 76,346.96 dollars. 89 million.
Okay. That is revenue,
Yes, that's 2021.
2021.
Yes, and 2020 it was 65 million.
2020 it was 65 million.
Yes.
Yes, but what is interesting is that, let's go to the expenditure. The expenditure you had, how much did you have for 2021?
The expenditure for 2021.
Yeah.
The total expenditure for for 2021 will be
I just want you to quote from the
yes. I have the surplus, so I'm going to take the surplus from the
no, just give me
Okay.
total.
Okay. The total expenditure
Yes.
for 2021 for salaries.
No, give me everything. Don't itemize it for me. Give me total expenditure for all the expenditure, lines of expenditure items.
Line by line.
No, don't give me line by line. Give me total.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to deduce from the figures, because
Yes.
the figures here they are
not added up to give you a total?
no, they are giving by salaries, then admin, social expenditure.
Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
You know, it will definitely give you emolument, admin expenses, cleansing service, etc., etc. But then at the end of the day, it will give you total expenditure as it has given you total revenue.
Yes.
Yes, what is the total expenditure?
Yeah, because with the template before me,
Yes.
what it has given is, it has given you total expenditure,
Yes.
stroke income.
Yes.
So the expenditure have been knocked off
Yes.
from the income.
Okay, give me.
Okay, so you have a surplus of 4,160,396.97. So to arrive at the total expenditure will be 89,076,346.96 minus 4,160,396.97. 84,915,949.99.
Now,
Yes.
my question is, the reason why I'm asking you,
Yes.
if you look at your income in 2020, your revenue was
Yes.
65 million
Yes.
plus, right?
Yes.
And your expenditure is 61 million
Yes.
plus.
Yes.
And in 2021, you said your revenue was 89 million.
Yes.
And your expenditure is 80 how much million?
Yes. It's 84 million. Yes.
Do you agree that all these figures are cooked up figures? They are not realistic figures. They are all cooked up figures.
Cooked up. I don't know what you refer.
Well, let me put it this way.
Yes.
These figures that have been given
Yes.
are not realistic figures. Going by
Yes.
your profession,
Yes.
proper accounting procedure
Yes.
of what really revenue you collected
Yes.
and what really you expended,
Yes.
that it is not correct. Am
Yeah.
I correct?
For me, I will not toe that line, because these figures
Yes,
are not coming from space.
yes,
These figures are generated
yes.
from day to day, month by month, realities of our operations.
Yes.
Because
Were
if,
you, now, okay, let me ask you this question. Were you able to look at the audit for the year ending 31st December 2019 and 2020?
for the year ended,
2019 and 2020.
yes, 2019 and 2020, yes, I did.
And did you read the report, the audit report?
Yes, I did.
And what would you tell us as to the reason why there was a disclaimer, if these figures are correct?
Yes. Yeah, because you see with the audit
Or
report.
qualified?
Yes, because no, it was a disclaimer for
Yes.
2019 and
Yes.
2020. It was a disclaimer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for the external audit is very clear with them. The reasons why it was a disclaimer, it was given that there were unpresented GTRs, 4 unpresented GTRs, and the other reasons are there.
Yes, Mr. Camara,
Yes.
you know, the reason why I said so
Yes.
is because there were never reconciliations.
Yes,
Because you yourself, in your statement, we will come to that.
yes,
You lamented the fact that you needed to do reconciliation.
Yes.
So where you did not have proper reconciliation, you cannot, for reasons of certainty, say that these figures were correct. Because you did not do reconciliation, and there was no way, you understand, you could have gotten the right figures to give the correct figures as presented from your budget estimates and from your expenditure.
yes. Oh, the situation is, when auditors come, they do.
Am I correct in what I said?
No, Madam Chair, I will not wrong your assertion and your
Yes.
opinion. I respect where you sit.
Yes.
And you
No,
also,
I am taking cue from what you have in your statement, because you
Yes,
said
yes.
You
Yes.
had to make a request for somebody to assist you,
Yes.
who was working with you in another institution,
Yes.
to help you do the reconciliation.
Exactly.
Because that was a big problem.
yes, if you look at what I've inherited,
Yes.
it was always a problem. But again, you cannot nail the cow on the pretext that it doesn't have an ear, only an ear. The work in finance is bigger than only reconciliation. And again, when these auditors come and they spend 3-4 months with us, if there were no records, or if there is no work to do, like I came in here, if at all my testimony was 30 minutes, I'm gone. But again, there was work to do. That's why auditors spend 3 to 4 months with us looking at daily documentation of what we have done, how it should have been done. And again,
Now, let me further ask you, why was it difficult to have a proper analysis of your records, of financial records?
yeah, but I said it, I'm going to say it again. If you run a multi-million institute, and you don't have capacity, there is nobody that is qualified to help you do the job that is supposed to be done. And again,
Now let
Yes.
me also remind you of what you have told this commission.
yes,
You said when you did an assessment, you were able to move the revenue from a particular amount to
Yes.
almost 90 million.
yes,
Because you did an assessment
yes,
and you were able to realize that revenue. So is that not an indication that the revenues that were being estimated were not a true reflection of what is on the ground in terms of collectible revenue?
very good. If at all that was the situation, the auditor would have explicitly said it, that the revenue figures are inflated and does not exist.
But who is supposed to provide the data that
This-
will allow you
Yes,
or the auditor
yes.
to come to a realistic projection?
No, we did, what we did was, the figures we give,
Is it the responsibility of B.C.C to provide the data?
of course, yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Council, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Yes, so now the budget for 2023 will have the expenditure for 2022. Were you preparing for your financial statements every year?
Yes.
Do you have all your financial statements for all the years you've worked in council?
Yes, I have 2021 and 2022 here.
And then the others?
I was not on seat then.
Okay.
Yeah. (2021, 2022). And that's
Were you performing your monthly reconciliations, bank reconciliations?
No,
Why?
because we have capacity issues.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Camara?
Yes.
What do you mean by capacity issues?
Yeah, because I took over 10 years of accounts that were not reconciled. And to start, I needed the team to do the needful with other audit queries that we inherited.
Yes.
And if you look at it, we've worked hard on the audit queries that we inherited, and we solved some, and some are work in progress.
What is the importance of having a monthly reconciliation, bank reconciliation?
Yes. I'm not getting that.
I said, what is the importance of having a monthly bank reconciliation?
Yeah, a monthly bank reconciliations help you to tick and then report as to what payments have come, and the checks that you have issued out, that they've been cashed.
Yes.
Yes, unpresented checks, you'll be able to know what are the unpresented checks, and you know the checks that have not landed on your account, and then the income that came also, you'll be able to analyze it and do the needful.
Together with analyzing your expenditure statements and your cash book.
Yes.
Together with the accounts.
Exactly.
If you don't do that, can you have a very accurate financial statement for the year?
Yeah, if you don't do that, some of the figures, especially expenditures.
Yes.
Especially expenditures, will not be accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, because you might leave something or something. But again, having the bank statement, the monthly bank statements, you'll be able to deduce. For instance, the revenue side it's not a problem, because in all the revenue centers there are managers that are giving you weekly data as to how much is in, and you see the bank alerts and all that.
But you don't have the finance and audit requires that there must be one account for all revenue of council. Is that not the case? Is that not the requirement of the Finance and Audit Act?
Yes.
You have one bank account for all monies that are coming in by way of revenue, has to be logged into an account.
Yes.
So that they can easily be traced and accounted for.
That we have done. That's the I do say so. At basic, we have a development account, we have a recurrent expenditure account, and we have a revenue account. But that is the ideal circumstance whereby you said all revenue should hit this account, because the revenues of councils are not predictable.
What does that mean?
They are not predictable in the sense that you might not be able to make the forecast that in January I should be able to make 11 million from markets and rates.
But you know in January you will have income coming in by way of revenue.
Yes. So the revenue is such that we give options. We give options to the people, the vendors paying, that accessibility. If you are accessible to Trust Bank, you pay to our Trust Bank account. If you are
but that would be contrary to what the law says.
That's true.
That will be very, very contrary to what the law says, and it will make it difficult to trace. You will see an amount in the bank account, but you may not be able to trace it back that is a revenue coming from either license or here and there. That may not be the case.
Yes,
if you don't have a normal robot system
Yeah, but all revenues, if we are able to analyze them, like we've got the capacity to analyze them, it's only going to be 2 or 3 accounts. So nothing can. If you have two savvy accounts assistants that are at desk, this should be easy, because it's easy with the banks. It should be easy with us.
No, it's not easy. If you have a revenue account, one account for money flowing in, you know this account is strictly for money paid into council, whether it's a grant, whether it's these are charges or license or taxes, donations, and so on and so forth. Then it will be easy to monitor.
Yes, I buy your point.
That will not be the same if you have 2, 3, 4 accounts and payments are coming in and out. Even though you may designate one as a revenue account, but apparently it is not strictly a revenue account.
I buy your observation, but again, if you look at it, I think
it's not
that's
an observation. It's a requirement by law.
But what we are doing is, like, I think the market, we designate a bank. All the revenue from the market is going to one account, and all license revenue is going to one account.
Yes.
And rates and partial cost recovery is also going to one account.
We apply to tender the financial information for 2022 and 2021 into evidence as an exhibit.
The financial information for the year 2021 and the financial information for 2022, these two documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/015. Let me just quickly ask this question. Mr. Camara, I seem to have a little bit of a challenge in terms of, maybe it's not conflict, maybe it's I may not have understood what you said in your statement. You said the collection of revenue, I think was outsourced to a company called SAPS, right?
Yes.
And the company was paid 2.2 million.
Yes.
2,250,000 to collect revenue. And they were able to collect 1 million, over a million.
No, 11.
Yes, but if you look at your statement, that is why I'm asking the
No,
question.
11 million.
Yes, if you look at your statement, let me read for you. It says, on the issue of SAPS, B.C.C. signed 1-year contract with SAPS 2020-2021 at the sum of 2,250,000 to collect revenue for council. SAPS company successfully collected over $1 million for council in 2020 and phased out at the end of the year 2020. And then you went, the second paragraph is where you stated that they collected 11 million.
Yeah.
They collected, 25 million, up and above the 11 million that was collected before. Is that correct?
I just want to get hold of
Your
my
statement. Your statement is not your statement is not numbered, but I can count the pages. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 10th page. So I wanted you to clarify so that I may understand what you mean here. Please hand this over to him. You have a statement. Give it to him. Page 11. The first paragraph I read to you. The second paragraph is where you stated that they were able to collect 25 million. And after that, your revenue collection went down to 7 million after the contract was terminated. The first paragraph?
Yeah.
Yes,
On the issue of subs,
yes.
B.C.C signed 1-year contract with Sabri, 2021-2022, at the sum of 2,250,000
Yes.
to collect revenue for council. SAP successfully collected over 11 million. I think that's
Over,
over 11 million.
I have in
Yeah,
my document,
yeah,
over a million.
Over a million, yes. That's what is typed. But
What do you have? Can we have that correct, please?
Yes, yes.
Is it over a million or
over 11 million.
But what we have in your document here is over a million.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Is that what you have in your own statement?
Yes, that's what I have. Over a million, but that's wrong. The spreadsheet is there,
Yes.
the report.
Yes.
SAP's report. See it there. Yeah.
We apply to tender the SABR Financial and Audit Consultancy Services to evidence as an exhibit.
The SAP's Financial and Audit Consultancy Services addressed to the CEO, the attention of the Director of Finance was made, and it has the submission of SAP's consultancy report. And this is covering the period 1st of March 2021 to 31st of December 2021 on B.C.C trade license arrears recovery. It is signed by Ibrahim Asila, CEO of SAPS. This document is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/016. Yes.
As the Commission places.
Yes. The last question for me is upon the signing of this agreement, you made over 36 million in revenue collection. Is that correct?
No, documented. Because their field work revealed
Yes.
that there is 36 million
Okay.
name and address given.
Okay.
But out of that 36, they were able to bring 11 million. So it was down to council staff and Director of Finance to follow up that indeed they've told us where these people are, who they are, what they do. But still, the revenue is not coming.
The revenue?
The 36 still
Yes.
is not coming. What we have witnessed
Yes.
moving forward, and once we stopped the consultancy, the revenue came down. When we should have, with the requisite staff, we should have taken from where the consultant left and forge ahead. But some of the income that we made from the revenue were cancelled. And again, the staff couldn't go and chase that revenue and bring it.
Council, you may proceed.
Now, the transport allowance. There was a period that a vehicle was hired for you as the Director of Finance.
Yes.
Can you please explain that?
Yes, what happened was, it was budgeted for. When I came in 2021, there was no vehicle for the Director of Finance. And then when the year ended, and we looked at our progress, we looked at the gains that we have registered.
Right.
Still, it was budgeted. Vehicles were budgeted to be procured. The money came, and the time came, and I was given the responsibility to look for a vendor, and I bumped into CFRO. Sorry, 1 minute. We bumped into CFRO, and then they gave us an amicable payment plan for 3 vehicles.
3 vehicles?
Yeah, 3 vehicles.
Why 3 vehicles? For you, the Director of Finance?
Yes, the Director of Finance, Operations, and one for the Deputy Mayor.
Okay.
So they gave us I have the communication, they gave us a payment plan of 112,000 a month.
A month?
Yes, a month.
For how many years?
Maybe for, I think, 3 years.
Okay.
Yes. So.
112,000?
Yes, I came back, I reported to the CEO that CFRO have the vehicles, and they are willing to give us a payment plan. I was communicating with one Mr. Mendy, who is the showroom. So we have email communication. I have the records, I will produce them. Then CEO told me yes, but we have to go and speak to the mayor. I said, fair enough. So 3 of us sat, and the CEO told me, Gainde, explain. I say, what am I explaining to? I have reported to you as my CEO of the budget line that we need to work on these vehicles.
Yes.
And then that's when the Lord Mayor interjected and said, Amun Halis, we don't have money, we're not buying any vehicle. I have other priorities from buying vehicles. I have other priorities. I have other priorities.
Other priorities than
buying vehicles. I said, fair enough. Then we walked away. Going back to my office, I sat there for some time, and I went back to the CEO, and I told the CEO, if that is the situation, because all this revenue is here, it's in the account, we're going to use it for other priorities, for per diems, for the mayor's palace staff traveling, for all these things. As a Director of Finance, I have not been a minus to council. And I think taking $1 million, 1 million, or 1.5 million at the time.
3 million?
Yes, 3 million to buy me a vehicle.
3 million, it's about...
That's going to be a council asset. I don't think it's not bad.
3.3?
Yes. But we spoke about it. I told him then, if you people are not going ahead with the budgeted item, why can't you rent a car for me? Because I think it's only fitting that after 1 year being here and having produced the results I do, I should be given a vehicle. He told me, yes, for that one, I think it's okay. I can approve for you a vehicle to be hired for you every month.
How much?
54,000 every week, every month.
Every month?
Every month, yes.
And that went on for how long?
And that went for 6 months.
And that's how much?
It's about $500,000.
324,000.
Yes, okay, right.
Is it $54,000 a month?
Yes.
For
Yes,
six?
yes, 54, yes.
For 6 months?
For 6 months, yes.
That's $324,000, I think. But my issue, Mr. Camara,
Yes.
is that it is not that you don't deserve to have a vehicle. If it's in the budget, you should have a vehicle if the money is available, correct? But to hire a vehicle every day for 6 months,
Yes.
is that reasonable?
Yes, no. No,
Give a yes and no answer at the same time.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, because under the circumstances,
Yes.
if this council was struggling, we are all in service.
Yes.
We are all in service. We'll all sacrifice. And I've sacrificed for 1 year.
Yes.
But seeing that revenue that we work very hard to bring to council,
Right.
how it is being spent. Because on my first day here, you asked the question, but we jumped it and then other things go in. How are revenues, how are expenditure of councils controlled?
Yes.
If the revenue comes, the priority is the mayor and her palo and her staff. They will travel with it, they will be paid per diem with it, their fuel, their vehicles, their entertainment, and other outreaches will be done on the revenue. The residue of that revenue, it goes to payment of salaries and allowances and others. And again, you are here giving your best. At the end of the day, how the revenue is apportioned, how it is being expensed, worries everybody.
Okay.
And
So
for me,
I see what you mean by yes is reasonable on that part.
yes.
Looking at it from that other angle.
Yes.
And then your no?
Yeah, the no is, as a CEO, if I were a CEO in that capacity, I will walk back to the mayor and say, instead of 3, let's buy 1 for the moment. That will save us, because this gentleman deserves a mobility, because he stays every day 9 p.m. I leave my office. And again, if you go to our governing instruments, which I talked with you earlier on, but we didn't elaborate. The cancer within councils and this commission cannot be timely. This commission is very strategic because it will address the cancers in council. The cancer, the disease in councils.
Yes, of course.
And the diseases, you look at this research document that I have worked on since I joined the council.
Yes.
All our governing instruments are not living the realities of our present day.
Why?
For an example, if you look at the finance and accounting manual of local government councils,
Yes.
it's 14 years old, 15 years this year.
Yes.
It's not been reviewed. Local Government Act, 22 years, it's not being reviewed.
Yes.
And there are things in these documents that
No,
are,
but there had been several amendments to the act.
you look at the Local Government Finance and Audit Act, it's 20 years old. You looked at the Local Government Staff Service Rules,
Yes.
it's 21 years old. Rates Act, 31 years old. The Trade Licensing Act of Banjul is 5 years old, which is very recent. The Financial Regulations is 8 years old. The Rent Tribunal Establishment Act is 14 years old. You look at the Banjul Closing of Street Act, 110 years old. And the City of Banjul Act, 112 years old. So this commission, among other things, I think it's a blessing in disguise. It will come out, and then most of these instruments should be revised to suit our present realities. And again, if you look at this.
Now we will come to that, Mr. Camara.
Yes.
it is true. The fact is, the number of years that you have for a particular enactment or law or act is not by itself the reason as to why it should be termed as outdated. But again, the one word you have said, that is reviewing these laws
Yes.
to see the desirability of certain provisions. You understand that? But when I look at the financial manual, and you are a finance director, a finance expert, this will come at the tail end of our discussion, or our your answers you are providing. But what is there that you think is not really serving the current realities on the ground in relation to the finance and audit, the financial manual of the government area councils?
Yes, if you look at it, the finance manual only covered few staff, the job descriptions of a CEO,
Yes.
a director of finance,
Yes.
a finance manager,
Yes.
and then leaving
Senior accounts clerk.
Yes, senior
accounts
accounts
clerk.
accounts
Paying
clerk.
out cashier.
Yes,
Receiving cashier.
yes, yes. But again, there are new realities in council.
Like
Yeah, you have the ICT.
the ICT.
Yes, forensic accounting and forensic auditing. And you have forensic ICT, ASPA services, because still our manuals are referring to some of our department as Department of Services. Those things are not in council.
It has a column for electronic
Yes,
payments
Yes,
and
yes.
accounting system.
yes. And again, you also look at how we present our financial statements, because they are talking about the council's financial statements should be on the IPSAS reporting framework.
It should be on the
IPSAS, IPSAS.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, what you have on the ground is GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Practices.
Yes.
So there are here and there, but again, reviewing them.
No, if you look at the
Yes.
it is not perfect.
Yes.
It's not. I'm not by any means trying to say it is perfect. It is nowhere near perfect. You don't seek that it is perfect, but the introductory part tells you that if at all there is the need to deviate from the normal acceptable financial policies, accounting policies, then you recommend, and that may be approved.
Yes, but that deviation,
Yes.
every council by council
Yes.
cannot be deviating.
Yes.
So the act, even if you deviate, the auditor will come, because I have lengthy discussion with auditors.
Yes.
The last time
I
they
mean
came.
deviate with approval.
Yes, deviate with
That's what the
approval.
law says.
Yes. Yes. So,
Deviation with
yeah,
approval.
but in the spirit of the commission and in the spirit of our work, I think
It
some
says,
of the
let me read to you.
yes.
Recommendation on amendments of the financial and accounting manual. No new instruction, addition, this is 104. Addition or amendment to any existing provision in the manual shall have any force until passed by a resolution of the council members in consultation with the Secretary of State and issued as a circular of amendment slip, a copy of which shall be made available to every accounting officer. There has to be a system of accounting.
Yes.
So you cannot have accounting at will, based on how you see the accounting in your own mindset. There has to be a system, approved system, and so deviations must be approved as well.
Yes, that's what we are saying. That's the spirit
Yes.
of discussion, that these things,
Yes.
once it is reviewed, we can get a step ahead and then move on, because they are instruments that we need to revisit and review.
B.C.C. and Rafaela. What is the relationship between B.C.C. and Rafaela?
The financial, the finance and audit manual of the Finance and Audit Act
2004.
said all projects must come to council.
Yes.
Rafaela is a project,
Yes.
and it's not within council.
Right. So what payments were done to Rafaela?
Yes,
Several payments?
Yes.
Why would they be done made to Rafaela?
the CEO should clarify that. Yes,
CEO should do what?
CEO should clarify why he is paying monies to a project that is subvented or a project that has its own funding.
Why shouldn't I ask you that as Director of Finance?
I am in limbo.
You are you?
I am in limbo about Rafaela. I don't know anything about Rafaela except the name.
Yeah, but you have also authorized payment together with the CEO.
No, I'm not the authorizing authority.
Okay, let me not use the word authorize. You have signed the checks. Because both of you
Yes.
are
Yes.
custodians of the accounts.
Yes.
So authorizing is not wrong because
Yes.
you can decide to say, you have done it in some instance to say, I am not going to sign a check
Yes.
of $900,000 because of XYZ.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes, but when I also sat here 2 days that I've met you, I've always chronologically documented to you the hurdles that I face in
Absolutely, Mr. Camara. I'm
doing
not-
my job. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
And I think the pinnacle of authorization and approval and
Rest on the CEO.
no, when I had these problems of being bypassed from signatures,
Yes.
not seeing checks coming and all that,
Right.
I went to the minister.
Yes.
Yeah, but all that I got with his blessing was go and keep the peace. With time, everything shall be clear.
So with Rafaela, you were just keeping the peace.
Yes.
But some of the payments were not genuine as far as you're concerned because there were no legality for those payments.
Yes, there was no legality, absolutely, 100%. There should not be any payment paid to Rafaela when Rafaela is maybe richer than Banjul City Council. And the accounts of Rafaela is not brought to council. We are in a dark, we don't know what's up. Maybe the CEO knows about Rafaela. But for me, it's a project fully subvented for. Council shouldn't pay a dime to it.
Then don't sign the check. You have done that in some occasions. Do you not think, hey, we're not perfect. No one is perfect,
Yes,
Mr. Camara.
yes.
Sometimes we fight too hard, and sometimes we give in.
Yes.
That's the truth.
Yes.
But where we give in, we admit we could have done better.
Yeah, thank you. I concur.
Yeah.
I concur.
We admit we could have done better. We could have rested one more time, just one more time, every single day. Think about change.
Yeah, but you can also spend all your life fighting. Sometimes you just need to.
Sometimes you can.
Let go.
I disagree. I think sometimes you can. Yeah. That's what we get paid to do. That's what we get paid to do. And it's time.
Yes, I believe it's a convenient point to stop. Mr. Camara.
Ma.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you,
will
Ma.
continue tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma.
Mr. Camara. You may rise.